boogity, boogity, get up on your feet.
You caught me. Hey, welcome to another edition of the DW Show. You know, people say to me all the time, why doesn't NASCAR publish a rule book? Well, that wouldn't be very, there's no reason for them to. If you want a rule book, as far as I know, just join NASCAR. I've had a rule book since 1972, ever since I've been a member of NASCAR. And you get a membership, you get a rule book. So, now I'm not going to tell you how much it costs. It isn't cheap to get one of these, but if you want a rule book, join NASCAR. But as I was looking through the rule book and the appeal process, I had this great awakening. They're doing it all wrong. The people that everybody's doing their job. They just got them out of sequence. See, when you're at the track and you show up at the track with your race car, and you want it to be inspected, you bring it there to be inspected. That's just the procedure. You know, when you unload it, put it in the garage, they're going to go all over the car. And they're going to find little nitpicking things here and there and tell you, you know, we're not going to give you a sticker on your windshield until you correct this, correct that, correct. There's sometimes a seat belt not mounted properly or some padding not in the right. It can be any small things, and they'll say you got to fix it. But when it's something like what happened to Chad Knaus, and it's a big blow up, and they say, you know, you're going to get suspended for 6 weeks, you're going to be fined $100,000, and you're going to lose 25 owner-driver points. That's right on the spot. Now that would be like a policeman pulling you over for speeding and saying, I don't know what they call them now. We call them paddy wagons back in the day. I don't know what they call them now, but anyway, a vehicle is going to come and pick you up and take you straight to jail because you were speeding and you were doing this and you were doing that and you were doing something else. And so I'm arresting you and you're going straight to jail. So wait a minute. You know, don't you just write me a ticket? Don't you write me a ticket and I get to go to court and the judge will tell me what my punishment is? Isn't he the one that's supposed to put me in jail and he the one that's supposed to fine me? You're just supposed to write the ticket. Well, that's my problem. See, when Chad or anybody else, Chad happens to be the most, when there's something wrong with his car, he immediately is sentenced. He's sentenced before he even has a trial. How are you going to go to court when you've already been sentenced? What are you going to go to court and they're going to, and the appeal board's going to say, well, sorry, son, we'd love to help you. We'd like to hear your case. We're sympathetic, but you've already been sentenced. That's wrong. You write a ticket at the track. Chad Knaus, illegal C post. They can maybe, if they want to make a recommendation, we recommend that this be his punishment. But until he goes before that appeal board and they hear his case, that's only what they suggest. They may say, that's what you're going to get. We may get more, you may get less. But you can't, it's psychological, mental. If you're the NASCAR appeal board and you've already been sentenced, what are they going to do? They're going to look pretty bad if they overturn it. They're going to say our people don't, you got to back your people. Rick Henry's got to back his people, and Brian France, and his dad always told me, Bill Jr., you stand behind your people. And so, what are they going to say? Our people at the track don't know what they're doing, we're going to throw this out or turn over? No. If you let the appeal board issue the fine, issue the penalty, issue the punishment, that's an unbiased appeal board. And they can look at that situation. Now, they can also take your past and they can say, look, Chad, you've been in here 5 times, and we have no choice but to throw the book at you. And they could do that, but at least it's from sort of an outside a board, not something that happened at the track. I think got to remove the penalty away from the track, because a lot of emotion at the track, a lot of on the moment, it's just spur that kind of make that decision, got to make it stick. So then, if the appeal board says throwing the book at you, the penalty stands, you could go to the commissioner or to the judge. You're before the appeal board, the jury. They found you guilty. Now you're going to go before the judge. And the judge may say that's harsh. And he may reduce it. He may throw it out. Hey, he might increase it. You ever think about that? So, all I'm saying is they got the right people doing the right things, but they're just doing them out of order. I think they need to just kind of look at how this thing, why have an appeal board if you're already sentenced? I guess that's my question. So I'm not saying NASCAR is wrong. I'm not saying Chad was right. I'm just thinking that as I look at this, and everybody wants to put this in legal terms, and rightfully so, then we got to do it in a kind of an order of which we would all be accustomed to. Agree? Disagree? Like? Don't like? It's just my opinion. You don't have to agree with me, and I'm not taking up for Chad. I just want you to know I'm just looking at this and trying to come up with a balance. You know, that legal thing, and that legal thing where they got those things hanging on each side and you want to keep them kind of balanced? I believe it is. Anyway, enough about that. That's a big story this week. Right now, let's talk about Tony Stewart. The man is on fire. He quit smoking. I don't know if he ever smoked. He quit smoking last year, about 10 races to go. Do you realize that he has won 6 of the last 13 races? Now, you know, everybody said, well, what about Darian? Well, Darian's been the crew chief on 6 of the last 13 races. So not only are they good together, they can go their separate ways. Hamlin's already won, and now Tony's already won. Tony Stewart has built the powerhouse. And what you don't know is, kind of behind the scenes, there's always the rest of the story. I'm a Paul Harvey guy. Tony hired the absolute smartest guy in the garage area, Ronnie Crooks. We call him Doctor Who. You'll see him around every now and then. Long white hair, really cool guy from East Tennessee. I used to race against him. But he's a chassis and a shock guru. He knows stuff that nobody else knows. So he got him. You know where he got him from? Gibbs. And now he's got Zippy over there with him. Tony and Zippy are like brothers. They love each other. They belong together. And then he's got Steve Addington. Addington was at Gibbs when Tony was there. So Tony has surrounded himself with a bunch of guys that he really likes and is really comfortable with and enjoys working with. Remember, folks, if you're not having fun doing what you're doing the wrong thing. You got to have fun. You got to enjoy your work. You got to enjoy your job. If you're not having fun, you're doing it wrong. You're in the wrong place. Find something else to do. And that's how most racers are. That's why you see a lot of people moving around all the time. Don't like that driver, don't like that owner, don't like that team, don't like the way they travel, don't like where they eat. You can't have that. You got to be happy. You be happy, you get good results. Tony Stewart's happy. He's getting good results, and I think it's awesome. He is a throwback. He is the A.J. Foyt, the Junior Johnson, the Dale Earnhardt of the past, all rolled into one. He's an amazing driver, and the last 10 races of last year and the start of this year, he went to a whole new level for me. The prelude to the dream. I go up there every year. He organizes that. He's created that. And Tony has a very creative mind. He's a really smart business guy. And so, can you tell I'm a big Tony fan, big Smoke fan. Didn't used to be. He and I used to bump heads, but he used to bump heads with everybody. I called him the sheriff. He's always wanting to get his dog in fights that he didn't have any business messing with. Pick your fights, I always told him, and now he does. So, great champion. Look for him to be the guy to beat pretty much all year long, I'd say. Everywhere I go, he'd never won at Vegas. He's won now. He's never won at Darlington. That's coming up. He's never won at Kentucky. Wouldn't surprise me if he wins everywhere. He's the man right now. Great race. And Jimmy Johnson and Chad, yeah, they had car trouble. You know, they wrecked in practice. They brought out their backup, started in the rear, and finished second. Great run for Jimmy. I think Jimmy and Chad are making a statement. You know, you can kick us down. You can kick us around, but you can't keep us down. And they're proving that. So a lot going on. Going to Bristol. Oh, the house that DW built. Sort of. I helped build it. Let's put it that way. One of my favorite tracks. Fast and furious. It's like things happen so fast there that you can't even think that fast. You know that old saying, think fast? You can't think that fast. All you can do at Bristol is react. When you see something, you don't have time to, I wonder what's going to happen. You've got to react. And the guys that are quick, those are the guys that win. You got to be quick. You got to be in good shape. Place is hard on you physically, mentally. 2 pit roads, a lot going on. Small circle. Love it. Race cars in a blender. Turn her on.